What is going on, guys? The Rose here, and welcome to a lazy edition of Less Than Serious. This is episode 93. This was the postponed show from Sunday night because I wasn't home. I'm not feeling too well tonight, the guys know, so if you suddenly stop hearing me talking for a few minutes, you know I had to run to the bathroom. But yeah, I'm not putting myself on camera tonight. I don't give a fuck to put the guys on camera tonight, to be honest with you. So this is going to be more of like an audio show, although I do have some audio we're going to play and we're going to react to it. Um, I also have an article to go along with the Twitter thing here. So with that, hold on, hold on. After, hold on. All right. Anyways, guys. So here is Casey is Raw and MK Kratos. What's going on, guys?
Hey, that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Hey, I totally forgot about the show. I was playing VR.
Oh,
The
I know what you were doing with people you probably shouldn't have been doing it with.
well, honestly, I did not hear them at all. Like,
You weren't talking either, so
well, I was talking. Uh, I gotta get a new headset for it, but um, I just couldn't hear them. So, uh, and I had a little rough time playing it, though. It was fun, but it was cool. I mean, what's cool about that new headset is like you wear it, and then there's one thing with those cameras. It makes you where like you could really look around and walk around. Like there was one point I was getting so cold I turned the AC off, but I didn't take the headset off because I had the front view cameras on.
how much did that
But
cost you? Fucking $500, right?
nope, I got it secondhand.
Oh,
It was like three something.
so what's going on with you, Kratos?
Not much. Just enjoying the train wreck that is Final Shape Destiny 2. And I mean fucking train wreck.
I have heard not very good things about it.
I've already put out a video onto Bungie Help's own fucking Twitter account in the reply section, showing my experience in one of the missions. 12 seconds. It's all you need to see is just 12 seconds of me getting kicked in a fucking lost sector due to an error code.
Well, this is what happens when games, these
They,
game
they
companies,
they
they
had
launch.
enough time to prepare for this. They had 25 hours to prepare for this.
Your hand's disappearing.
And they're getting more downtime. There's people who are not in the fucking game still. And these are prominent streamers that aren't even in the game. It's ridiculous.
Oh, this is what happens when there's no proper fucking quality assurance testing.
This was delayed by 4 months.
And it's still
this
not
whole
ready.
expansion was delayed for 4 months.
And it's
because
still
of
not
the
ready.
terminations back last year.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And
This is your finished product after 4 months of delays.
And it's
that is a damn crime.
And it's still not ready.
This is your finished product.
All right, guys. So we got 4 topics tonight. You guys can see them on the screen. We have Swerve Strickland's comments on AEW and WWE working together. We have "'Tis the Season' to raise prices because all the streaming services apparently want to come out this week and raise their prices all at the same time. 3 of them so far have. Jim Cornette destroys Nia Jax, which I have the portion of his podcast queued up. We're going to listen to that and react to it. Cool. Where he comments on Nia Jax's Queen of the Ring semifinals match against Bianca Belair, because he done went off on that woman. And we have Twitter/X, whatever you want to call the platform, officially now allowing porn on their platform.
Oh, well,
Of course
I mean,
of course you perk up to that shit.
I mean, they already had porn on there. So what?
They're making it legal now, as long as it's consensual.
They're not suspending or shadow banning accounts anymore for doing it.
Here's another problem. We got Candace Owens, who's one of the senators who wants pornography banned from the internet. I'm like, good luck with that, bitch.
That ain't gonna happen.
I'm like, good luck with that, honey.
That has just as much chance of happening as banning fucking cigarettes.
Exactly.
Ain't happening.
I need my porn.
You're better off banning alcohol with another prohibition.
Right.
Like in the 20s than you are banning porn.
And that ain't gonna happen either.
Exactly.
So anyways, guys, I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper right now. It is, of course, diet. It's probably not a good thing for me to be drinking when I'm having stomach issues, but I'm taking small sips.
You need Sprite, dude. You need fucking Sprite.
I actually just ran out of Sprite. That's funny you mentioned that.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know, but I ate food last night. I had kibasi and I had some leftover pasta. Something kind of smelled sour to me when I was eating last night, but it tasted fine. So I didn't finish my dinner, though, because the smell after a while just put me off from finishing my dinner. But I finished the pasta for lunch today, and I wonder if that's what did it.
You're like, it kind of stinks, and then eat it. It's like, it really does stink. It's like, you're almost done. It's like, I think I don't want to eat it no more. It stinks too much now.
That's kind of what happened last night. But yeah, so where do you guys want to start? You want to start on Swerve's comments about the two companies working together, the streaming services, the Jim Cornette destroying Nia Jax, or the Twitter porn policy thing?
Let's get the Twitter porn shit out of the way, because let's just get that bullshit out of the way, because I just saw that announcement literally yesterday.
I saw it today. That's kind of a good thing the show got delayed, because I now have more
news.
Yeah, I got two more topics to bring to the table.
So, plus,
EJ, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, I spent over $300 on the collector's edition for Final Shape, on top of almost $200 for my fiance to even play the damn game, with everything included, minus a few things.
Yeah, you
got. So all in all, I spent about $500 on this game in just less than a year. In just less than a year, I spent almost $500 on this one fucking game.
That's a lot of money, dude. All right.
$148 as a gift to my fiance on Steam, and $300 on Final Shape. And this is the finished product.
All right. Hold on, I gotta go get the peanut butter real quick.
Oh, of course you do.
What?
Are you sure you don't have mice in that damn apartment with all the peanut butter you go through?
He used to, remember? Well, anyway, motherfucker, stop refreshing on me. So here's the topic. It's coming from USA Today. I don't care about your flash shield. X allows consensual adult nudity, pornographic content under updated policy. X, formerly known as Twitter, now officially allows users to post, view, and share adult nudity and sexual content under new formalized policies. Under its updated policy, Elon Musk's social media platform will allow consensually produced and distributed adult pornographic content so long as it's properly labeled and not prominently displayed. So it's got to be in a spoiler, one of those content warning spoilers, and it's got to be properly labeled.
Yep.
Sexual expression, whether visual or written, can be a legitimate form of artistic expression, the platform's policy states. Now, let me stop right there. The kind of porn that's on the internet is not artistic. Let me tell you that right now.
No, it's not.
Sure, hold on. Sure it is.
No, it is not, because women getting pounded roughly while seemingly enjoying it, probably not so much. I don't see that as a form of art. That is
I see
clearly,
that as a form of a kink.
yeah, that is a clearly
That's not
male.
art.
That is clearly a male-dominated fetish ish support thing or whatever. But I mean, I'm sure some of these girls like it. Otherwise, it wouldn't exist. But I'm sure. I mean, we already know some of these girls don't like it, but have done it because they're under contract by these companies and have to. Unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
This means
Or
I
you
can
could
start.
be like Val Venus. You could be or you could be Val Venus and just post CP on your fucking timeline.
That's terrible.
What?
Yeah, Val Venus actually did that a couple years ago. I got blocked for bringing it up to him on Twitter a couple months
How did he
ago.
not get fucking banned off of Twitter and arrested?
Exactly.
Anyways,
Probably because of his fucking name.
we believe
No.
we believe in the autonomy of adults to engage with and create content that reflects their own beliefs, distress, and experiences, including those related to sexuality. The platform will still prohibit pornographic material that is expletive, monosexual, or promote objectification, which is what most porn is. Because let's be real, the men clearly are the ones that are in the most control when it comes to porn. Especially, what they call, the kind of role play that involves, fake R-wording people. Because obviously the girls are going along with it because they have to, but I'm sure they're not enjoying it all that much.
Our wording.
You know what we're talking about, dude.
Obscene
behaviors. You know the rest.
Obscene behaviors or the sexualization or harm of minors, as Kratos just mentioned. It also prevents adult content from being used for profile pictures, banners, and other publicly visible places. Policy applies for AI and animated content, so we're going to see a lot more hentai. Great.
Oh my Christ.
X allows adult nudity or sexual content that is AI generated, pornographic, or animated according to its policy. The company defines adult content as any depictions of full or partial nudity, including close-ups of genitals, buttocks, or breasts, explicit or implied sexual behavior, or simulated acts like sexual intercourse are also considered adult content. Users under 18 or users who do not provide a birth date for their profile will be unable to click to view posts marked as adult content per the policy.
That's gonna lead a lot of kids to lie about their damn age still.
Right, because we've all done it, and I'm sure kids still do it to this day.
Mm-hmm. Just like states wanting to ban social media among students in the school districts in the whole state. I'm like, yeah, good luck with that.
Oh, I just actually saw something before we went live that New York is getting ready to pass a bill that restricts TikTok and Instagram usage for minors.
I saw like a report that a governor for a whole state wants to ban freaking like social media from kids under the age of 16.
Honestly, kids under 16 honestly do not need to be on social media in the first place.
Exactly.
Anyways, users are required to add content warnings to adult content, obviously. X is urging accounts that regularly post adult content on its platform to adjust their media settings to automatically add a content warning to their posts. Content warnings require users to acknowledge they are about to see an NSFW post. The platforms also encourages users to add one-time content warnings for individual posts. Users who fail to mark their posts will have their account settings adjusted for them, the policy states. Here's a better idea. If people are failing to properly mark their content, why don't you just suspend their accounts? Teach them a lesson. Instead of being like, nope, You don't want to. You don't want
Just throw their
to do
asses
it.
in Twitter jail, as the people called it.
No,
Twitter jail.
they're being like, nope. You don't want to do it. We'll do it for you. No, they should get suspended. Maybe not permabanned, but at least suspended.
Yep.
The company already allowed porn when it went by Twitter ahead of the 2023 rebranding. Company estimates revealed above a 13% of all the content featured adult content, according to an October 2022 Reuters report. So they want to push porn this heavily now because only 13% of all content on Twitter is porn. They're catering to that 13%.
Now,
Really?
mind you, think about this. The whole name branding, the whole rebranding is what got the fucking app banned in a whole ass country as in Indonesia.
Be a break.
The whole rebranding got the whole website banned in Indonesia.
What's going on, Steve Callan?
For porn reasons.
Motherfucker, this thing keeps resetting on me.
It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
So that's your topic on Twitter officially now allowing porn. They're basically becoming OnlyFans. They're basically becoming OnlyFans for free.
Mm-hmm. OnlyFans, Fansly, Pornhub, videos. I can name a couple more if you want me to.
Well, I mean, those were already free, and the latter two.
I mean, like some of those guys are gonna lose money who have like premium accounts there.
Well, yeah, but I was like just mentioning the OnlyFans because you only get that kind of content if you pay those fucking
or if they're
OnlyFans
or
girls.
if their subscriptions are free. That's one way as well.
Yeah, but let's be honest.
There are those accounts too.
Let's be honest. Ain't no girl on OnlyFans who allow a free subscription is going to put up full sex videos for free.
True.
None of them. What's up, TSS?
Let's just say I knew someone who put up I know someone in my area that actually uploaded an OnlyFans video for like of her getting pounded in the shower by a toy for $35.
Dude, I've seen that. Yeah, I see that shit a lot.
Fucking
Destiny FOMO, one of JD's biggest fucking supporters. She uploads videos of her just playing with her tits for $50. Like, dude, no one's gonna pay for. Who's gonna pay you $50 just to watch you play with your tits?
I mean, you obviously haven't seen her shower videos that I've seen uploaded on a couple websites.
She's fucking hot. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna.
I mean, she's real careful with what she posts too. She's real careful with what she posts on OnlyFans. Right. She doesn't do any nudity as far as I know.
No, she just does the content behind a fucking paywall that is a very expensive paywall.
Mm-hmm.
She freaking.
Or it could be Karina Koff, and have like people pay $20 and she makes $1 million off of all her simps for just for her first topless photo.
Because I'm in her Discord server, obviously, because, I watch her Twitch streams and YouTube stuff occasionally. And obviously she has the OnlyFans thing, and she freaking, one time she posted something, and it was like $20 just to watch her rub her nipples. Like, seriously?
I mean, personally, I don't care for her OnlyFans content. I truly don't care.
I don't either.
I've seen enough of her content on a couple third-party websites, and she's pretty much is probably the cleanest NSFW sex worker in the business. And I mean cleanest, because she's had, according to what I've seen, 4 nip slips on her OnlyFans. That's it.
With a paywall with a paywall like that, I can tell you right now, she probably don't make that much money doing it. But yeah. So yeah. So
did he really step away to get some peanut butter for his damn dog?
I fucking hope not. But anyways, fucking yeah, this is fucking crazy. Like, I wonder how upset OnlyFans is at this freaking like I said, like I wonder how upset OnlyFans is at an announcement like this. Now, people
Mm-hmm.
can just put their shit on Twitter for nothing.
Yep. Then again, that also leads to the one main issue with OnlyFans: leaks.
Yeah, that too. Yep.
Sorry about that.
There's already plenty of websites out there that freaking you could put in a OnlyFans freaking girls channel page link and they crack the freaking videos and let you watch them for free. Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
I've already checked out a few of those.
My internet took a shit, so I had to reset it.
That's great.
Didn't you notice I was gone?
Hey, well, yeah,
Yeah.
Kratos actually just mentioned that you were gone.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear us, dude?
I can hear you.
So you
He can't hear. He can't hear you, Rose.
can't hear me. My
I can
internet's-
hear you.
Okay. Can you hear? You can hear us, and we can hear you. That's great. So what's wrong?
I didn't say anything was wrong, except my internet took a shit. But
Okay.
it's fixed. But it's fixed, and I'm back.
So what are you guys'
Mhm.
final thoughts on this Twitter porn update policy? You know, this is like what fucking Twitch should have done. Twitter's doing what Twitch tried to do, only they're doing it right
Mm-hmm.
for the most part.
I mean, they were kind of allowing it anyways. It's just now they're like, oh, now it's in our term of service. It's okay now, you know. Like,
But it also is also going to keep them banned in Indonesia.
Yeah, now you have to be more careful when you're viewing Twitter in public, especially if you're on the For You tab. You might get that shit recommended to you.
Mm-hmm. I hate
But-
that they separated following and For You in the freaking home screen. Okay, let's figure out what's next, I guess, huh?
All right. Well, I'll just briefly go over this because there's really nothing to show for it. But Spotify announced yesterday they are increasing their streaming service prices by $1 from $9.99 to $10.99 now to $11.99. This is the second increase in a 1-year time span. It will take effect July 11th. They are claiming that they are going to use the increased rate to continue to innovate and provide, basically great service. When people in the comments of the post on Twitter were like bashing Spotify left and right, saying that the audio quality is not great, Apple Music and YouTube Music is better. Spotify hasn't innovated shit since the last price increase, which is true. I haven't noticed any change to the platform in a year, other than the fact that they're restricting what used to be free services to the paywall. So yeah, Twitch also increasing their subscription fees to channels from $4.99 to $5.99. I'm guessing that's effective immediately because they didn't say when that was going to start. Actually, I think they said that's going to start in 30 days. Or 30 days after your most recent Twitch subscription. They're claiming that they're doing it to keep up with the pace of rising costs, and the increased subscription fee is going to help streamers make more money because they're going to still give streamers the same percentage of the revenue, which is true. If you're raising the price, a streamer will make more money, but it's also going to deter people from wanting to subscribe because now it's more money. So on one hand, it is helping. On the other hand, it's really not. So it still kind of evens out. And
Yeah.
HBO Max, which is now just Max, has also announced today that they're raising their prices of their ad-free subscription service, non 4K, by the way, to $16.99, which I don't know what it was previously because I don't have that service. And their 4K service will now be $20.99, so $17 and $21 respectively.
Jesus Christ.
So those are the 3 services so far who have announced their price hikes. Netflix announced it about 8 months ago, so their latest increase. So I don't know when they're going to do another one.
Speaking of like speaking of movie production places, did y'all hear about this Paramount Skydance merger?
No.
Yeah, they have agreed to terms to launch their merger together. People are claiming this is a victory for the movie industry. A lot of people tend to think otherwise because it's an $8 billion Paramount sold for $8 billion for 50% of Paramount and commitment to keep intact instead of $26 billion outright purchase, where a couple others have most likely planned on absorbing the valuable assets and everything else. It's fucking ridiculous. The merger is a fucking this merger is just as crazy as the Activision Blizzard merger with Xbox. This was just announced yesterday.
And yet these companies, they claim, oh, it's a win for the the movie industry. Well, of course it is, because doing something like this is probably going to raise prices for the consumer again. So that means they're going to make more money.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep.
don't
and it also means with this merger, people out of jobs.
So don't be surprised when Paramount Plus is the next one to announce a price hike for their subscription.
Yep.
Considering now that Spotify
talk about jobs being cut if the merger falls through.
Considering Spotify just announced they're raising their prices, I'm sure it won't be long before Apple Music and YouTube Music does the same again.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Hulu, you got Disney Plus, you got all these other fucking streaming services. They're eventually going to raise their prices again.
Yeah, eventually, it's like, I mean, like I have several of them, but they're gonna make it where they're gonna price you out. Or, I mean, like, they were the reason why you cut the cable, because it was getting expensive having cable. Well, now it's getting expensive for streaming.
By the time you sign up for all these streaming services and you pay individual monthly fees for all of them, and you pay for internet over $100-something a month, you're basically just like paying a cable bill anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, you're still need internet for several things. I mean, obviously, if you're going to watch YouTube or play online.
Right, but what I'm saying is if you have a cable subscription where you're paying like $250 a month for internet and cable, and then you cut out the cable, and now you're down to paying, say, about $120 for internet, and then you want streaming services to replace your cable service. By the time you pay for Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, Hulu, if you're sports, you're gonna do ESPN, which is bundled with Disney anyway. Fucking Paramount, Spotify for your music, or YouTube for your music, whatever. Netflix, HBO Max, and stuff like that. By the time you're paying all these freaking different streaming services every month, you're basically paying what you were paying before you got rid of cable.
Yeah.
So people are saying it's better to cut the cord. I really don't understand it, because you're cutting the cord, and then you have nothing to watch until you start paying for subscription fees. And the more you pay to have access to more content, the more your fucking bill goes up. Eventually, it's going to be right back to what it was.
Well, I mean, everything is going up anyways. I mean, inflation is like crazy. And like when me and Tex talks about it, like, you go to the grocery store, like, you probably have 3 bags of stuff, and that's probably $100 right there. You know?
Yeah, everything goes up.
1 second, I'll be right back.
So, I mean, are you shocked in a lot of this? Yeah, I mean, it was because, the economy sucked because during the pandemic, but when they were trying to pass that $15 minimum, like that's gonna cause a lot of problems as it is.
Fuck, man.
Like,
That's another problem. Minimum wage goes up because the cost of living goes up, so everybody else figures, okay, well, the cost of paying employees goes up, so now we got to adjust our prices so that everything costs more money, so that the minimum wage increase doesn't mean shit.
yeah, and well, here's the thing. I mean, let's say McDonald's. Yeah, you'll pay $15 an hour, but you're also not working a full 40-hour shift.
Most places don't want to hire for full time anymore.
No. So I'm like, you're lucky if you can get like maybe 20 hours,
Like my mom's day job, they actually, as of last month, they started to want to cut down. They don't want to hire full-time employees anymore, and the full-time employees they have, they want to start cutting them down to part-time. So they don't. One of the reasons is obviously so they don't have to pay out as much paid vacation every year, and they don't have to offer health benefits.
I mean, I'm lucky with my job that, like, where I'm at, that we stay pretty freaking busy, and I'd rather be busy. The job previous, like, there was a couple times when there wasn't any trailers to work on. Like, they'll be like, oh, you just start sweeping up the shop. Like that makes the days go slow. I was like, you know what? I have vacation time. I'm going to just take it, Like, but at my job, like, I'm staying pretty busy. If, like, we hadn't had to stay late anymore, or like last year we would do some Saturdays, but we hadn't had that almost for a year now. But I'm not complaining about that. But at least I'm still making close to 40 hours. So
yeah, well, a lot of jobs out here in New Jersey don't want to pay full-time employment anymore, and it's ridiculous.
Well, because a lot of times if you play for full time, then you have to pay for insurance and benefits like that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So jobs aren't wanting to offer that really anymore.
No. So I mean, yeah, $15 minimum sounds great, but that's actually causing more problems than anything. Like, and that's for raising that stuff up. What about people who's already making $15 an hour? Like, it took me a long time to hit $15 an hour, and some burger flipping motherfucker is gonna do it, like go to the Mickey D's and do it for a couple hours for $15 an hour.
And you're busting your ass working on fucking trucks.
I'm making more than that, but not too much more. But like, my paycheck ain't gonna go higher because of that,
No.
Like, so like I'm getting screwed more because, like, honestly, I think I deserve more pay, but because the field I'm in, there's not a lot of people coming in my field. I mean, I don't work on trucks. I work on the trailer end, but we don't get trailer mechanics come in all the time. So, yeah. But this is just hurting us financially,
Kratos, your camera's frozen.
No, it's not.
It was. It's not now. So yeah. So what do you guys think of these fucking price increases on the streaming services? Do you think there are reasons for claiming why they're raising the prices to be a bunch of bullshit or what? Because I feel like it is.
Well, I think, I mean, eventually a lot of them are going to merge together. I mean, it's like Saw Monster said, is like, yeah, a lot of them start to merge, and that means less options. They're going to raise up the prices. Like, if let's say you eliminate more of them, let's say how many, like, there's like multiple, but there's like the big ones are like Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix, and uh, Amazon, and I'm sure there's something else. But then you have like uh, Paramount, like, and I know a couple of them are merging. So let's say you get it down to like two companies that has all these streaming servers merged. Well, they're just gonna keep raising the prices up and up. So we're gonna get fucked on the end. We're always going to get fucked on the end.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, these companies claim to be raising their prices to keep up with the rising costs and whatnot, and to continue to provide great service and continue to innovate. When, like I said, like Spotify, between the last price increase till now, I don't notice anything different.
Well, I mean, let's say I look into Disney Plus, and they always add new stuff
Excuse me.
all the time. Like, you go to other services, do they add a lot of stuff all the time?
I'm not saying content wise, like new features, like, like new features to make their freaking platform better and stuff like that. Content is always going to be added, yeah, and that's from the people that, especially on Spotify, that's from the people that have, that are Spotify uploaders. But like they Spotify, specifically hasn't made like their platform any better. Like their streaming apps hasn't changed. Their audio quality, I feel like, hasn't changed. And like I said, they've taken some features away and locked them behind the fucking paywall since the last increase. Now, how is that making your service better if you're going to start taking away free features and putting them behind the paywall?
Well, it's not make it better. Obviously, like, it's like how they used to do, well, the video games where everything would be on the disc, and then they'll start. It's like, all right, what can we take away from the disc and lock it up so we can make the customer pay for more? Like, I mean, and like I was like, yeah, they'll eventually add stuff, but it's kind. You're gonna always find a way to nickel and dime you. It's just business. That's sadly what's all about. It's like I said before. The customer, will always get fucked by the man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What do you think about this there, Kratos? What are your thoughts on the price increases?
He sounds like he's muted.
It shows he's not muted, but yeah, we can't hear him. Your lips are moving there, Kratos, but we can't hear you.
Maybe he is. Maybe he's moving his mouth, but he's not actually saying anything.
Can y'all hear me?
Now we can.
There you go.
Fucking headphones, man. Something fucked with my fucking headphone settings on this shit. Anyways, I could not give two flying fucks with these price increases. It's no skin off my bones, but it's still a bad thing and a train wreck.
I mean, so you don't use like any streaming platforms? You don't. I mean, I use Spotify, but
my
I
whole
use it
family,
for free.
We all split the damn bill on all these streaming platforms anyway.
Oh, okay. But I mean, like I use Spotify, but right now I'm using it for free, and obviously paying for it is better. But like like I was saying to Casey, like do you agree with the reasons that these companies, these streaming providers, are saying that they're increasing their prices, or do you think it's a bunch of bullshit and they're just doing it just because everyone else is?
I'm not even sure. It's just so stupid.
I think it's obviously the latter. It's a bunch of bullshit.
At least Twitch was a little bit more honest. Oh, we're keeping up with the pace of rising costs. Yeah, costs are rising all the time. Doesn't mean you got to raise yours.
Well, I mean, eventually, like if your cost is like you look over the net. Let's say Hulu looks over the Netflix. It's like, oh, Netflix is paying, forcing the customer to pay for this, but we're paying for that. Like, so why were ours so cheap while theirs more expensive? So, well, we could go ahead and say we're gonna give some features like, oh, you can have ad free, but you'll have to pay more, or pay less, but you have to look at ads.
Well, in my opinion, if you're a competing streaming service, you'd want to undercut your competition to try to get more subscribers and make more money than them. That just makes sense to me.
No, I agree.
Why raise your prices to match what your competitor's doing? That's just stupid.
Exactly.
I don't think it's stupid. I mean, yeah, you want to undercut your competitor, but if you're like, let's say you're $5 cheaper than the other competitor, like, wouldn't you want to be making that extra $5 more though?
I mean, it would be nice, but then you're risking losing subscribers that you already have, and you're risking not getting new ones.
Well, the problem is, a lot of these streaming services, they're obviously a lot of people are, borrowing from one person to another. I mean, WWE was the big time victim on that for a while. I'm like, they couldn't break over. I think they broke over 1 million, but they couldn't get past that.
Well, look at the fucking product Vince was giving us too at that time. It was awful.
Oh.
Huh? Oh my god.
What was that about?
The House of Representatives for the U.S. just passed a bill to sanction the International Criminal Court officials over them wanting to put the fucking leaders of Israel on trial.
Yeah,
Are you fucking kidding me?
The United States is all for fucking Israel. We made that country in the first place. Close that out.
This is fucking ridiculous.
All right, so let's go over Swerve Strickland's comments. Let's go over Swerve Strickland's comments about WWE and AEW working together. We'll talk about that for a few minutes. All right, so here's what Swerve said. And this was posted by Wrestle Ops. This was posted on Sunday, actually. They said, AEW World Champion Swerve believes that now is more likely than ever for WWE and AEW to work together. And I quote, "If there's ever a time it could happen, now is more likely than it's ever been. I don't think either person, Triple H and Tony Khan, is opposed."
I disagree with that. I disagree from both ends. I don't think Triple H wants to work with them, and I think Tony Khan got a sour taste of what WWE's been, treating them like shit. So that's and look at what Tony Khan always talks about WWE all the time. So
whenever WWE mocks AEW or wrestling in general that's outside of the WWE bubble, Tony Khan has some fucking childish remark or some
Exactly.
immature way of fucking responding to it.
Exactly. So I totally disagree with what he said. I mean, I would love to. I mean, look what's happening with NXT right now. Yeah, I mean, they just got Ethan Page, who just left AEW to go NXT, and that's a big.
And Jordan Grace from TNA. They're working with TNA.
Yeah, and like
Jordan Grace just won her match tonight, by the way.
Yeah.
Against Stevie Turner. I'm like, and when I saw who she was facing, I'm like, who the fuck is Stevie Turner?
And you know what? It's good for TNA for them to get that. Like, I think it'd be awesome if there's more
cross promotion.
Exactly. I mean, it would help. Like then just have the normal same people to contend for stuff. Like, it's just like at least AEW. A lot of times they'll get people from New Japan, or they'll even grab some people from the Indies come out.
And Mexico.
But who's going to challenge Swerve for the world title and be legitimate at Forbidden Door to even be a world title contender? Personally?
Will Ospreay is facing him.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, even that people are saying is too soon.
Yeah, because it is.
I'm saying, like, if he were to face someone from New Japan, there'd be zero anything for him to do for that match other than just win and get a paycheck.
No, that's because the biggest names from New Japan are in AEW now. Okada, fucking
not Tanahashi,
fucking Takeshita.
Zack Sabre Jr.
Well, I mean,
Takeshita wasn't even in New Japan. He was part of DDT.
Well, there's another reason why having Will Ospreay doing it is not only too early, yes, but he just won the International Championship.
They should have said,
unless you make that shit title for title, he's not winning.
They should have made that match for Wembley, honestly, and it's still possible that they will, but they shouldn't do the match now and then Wembley. I think they should have just waited.
Yep. Speaking of which, I literally was on Twitter like earlier and saw like a Pentagon versus Chelsea Green match on Lucha Underground. I'm like, Chelsea Green wrestled in Lucha Underground? I mean, she did pretty damn good against Penta. Fucking ridiculous.
TSS just said that Ethan Page is good, but he reminds him too much of The Miz, and who has a copycat with Gracie Waller there. Well, I don't know.
Gracie Waller has his own unique character, despite being like basically an Aussie version of The Miz. He's got his own thing going on, and people honestly think that like Austin Theory could be a world title contender if
Not
he turns
anymore.
babyface. Like, fuck off.
Nah, they would have to probably repackage him again because
people are comparing him to a young Edge if he turns babyface and goes on and gets his world title push. I'm like, fuck off.
Well, at least he has youth on his side, though, and like he's still young enough. They'll probably, if I was Austin Theory, I would go back to NXT, or maybe you know what, he's still young enough. Ask for your release, so go to maybe AEW, or
I doubt it.
Or TNA.
Like, he'd still be working with NXT in the end if he goes to TNA.
Yeah.
Well, but sometimes you
he could go. He could go to New Japan if anything, and learn the style there.
But back on the topic of what Swerve thinks about AEW, WWE working together. Personally, I don't think Triple H, like Casey said, wants to work with AEW or ever would. And I'm sure
he called them a pissant T-shirt company. You honestly think he would work with them ever?
And I'm sure he doesn't forget, and he won't forget how AEW beat his NXT in the ratings war for what was it, the year and a half that they were going at each other on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, most
And it was supposedly Vince McMahon was punishing Triple H by like calling up all
Firing
his
most
best
of the
guys,
people.
calling up his best guys, not using them, and then eventually firing them.
Yep.
well, you gotta remember.
Think about this. Speaking of Vince McMahon, Randy Orton was interviewed like yesterday or so about like wanting to work less dates when he was back when he was 35. Vince McMahon responded with, "I need you on all of those shows, pal. Murder Nature gets us all eventually." I'm like, the fuck? Randy Orton wanted to work less dates on house shows, right? Less shows. He wanted a reduced schedule. Vince McMahon said no, he needs him on all those shows because Mother Nature gets us all eventually.
Yeah, so he's basically telling Randy Orton, you can't have a break, and you're gonna die one day anyway.
Well, I was going to bring up during that time frame when Triple H was. You're saying he was getting punished. You gotta remember that time frame, he was actually having that health problem with his heart. So,
Yeah, that's when 2.0 came to be and
yeah,
ruined the whole fucking brand.
Yep.
yeah.
They're still trying to recover from that even now.
But you know, with all the petty bullshit that AEW does, whenever WWE has something to say about the wrestling industry that's outside of the WWE bubble, I'm sure Triple H hears and sees how fucking petty Tony Khan gets, or how he has his wrestlers go out there and cut promos and take shots at the WWE. I'm sure he doesn't forget, though. Obviously, it's in the back of his mind now that Cody's back in WWE and is their main champion. You know, all the shots at Triple H that Cody took, especially on the very first Double or Nothing when he took that sledgehammer and smashed the fucking throne.
Now think about this. Even after all of that, he still forgive Cody by giving him his dad's watch, his dad's old Rolex, as a gift for winning the world title this year. After all of that, he still forgave him.
Right, but I'm saying, you know, with all those things that AEW has done in the past with taking shots at WWE so many times in the last 5 years, and all the pettiness that Tony Khan shows whenever he hears something that he doesn't like said about AEW or about wrestling in general that's outside of the WWE bubble, he acts immature. He speaks out when he shouldn't. He has his wrestlers cut promos that are terrible. Like the fucking Adam Copeland one that he came out and said, "Oh, we love wrestling." You know, he was basically pleading to the fucking crowd, like, don't change the channel, you know? That was a terrible fucking promo, and that was only a month ago.
Yeah. That's all because
of 2 months ago, I'm sorry.
When CM Punk had
yeah, it's time to take my pill.
But that's when CM Punk went on that interview and talked about AEW, and they're like they want to throw dirt on CM Punk. Go back to that interview. He didn't bring it up. It was the interview who that guy brought that stuff up.
Right, but Tony Khan still acted immature with the whole, "Oh, let's show what happened at the fucking the All In backstage last year." Yeah, they didn't need to do that.
And exactly like how CM Punk said, and I still don't say. Some people's like, "Oh, he'd lunge." Tony Khan. To me,
he didn't.
He didn't. Did he go towards him? Yes.
He got in his face, but he didn't fucking look like he was gonna jump over that table and attack him.
Exactly. That's what I think when lunging is that you're jumping over something, you know, or you're jumping at the person. You're not going up to the person.
Swerve is AEW's main champion right now, and I commend the guy for thinking positively, but I think he done pulled that out of his ass. And I'm sure Tony Khan would love to work with the WWE one day.
Oh, yeah.
But I tell you right now, Triple H ain't going to have it.
You know, well, but I would
It'll be a cold day in hell. It'll be a cold day in hell And very, very surprising the day Triple H welcomes AEW wrestlers under AEW contract, or the day a WWE contracted superstar steps foot in an AEW ring.
Remember how they waited until TNA is not even a blimp on the radar anymore before they started like doing something with TNA. You
Right, and
know,
now just think, Matt Hardy's back in TNA. Jeff Hardy's probably going back there. So guess what? Then WWE will have access to the Hardys again through this cross
well,
promotion.
we don't know how far this is going into. Like, yeah, Jordan Grace is going for the women's belt in NXT. The Song Monster predicts that I guess he wants her to win it, but and then a few weeks later lose it back. But I mean, that would be cool to see her over NXT TNA with the NXT belt. But the one thing I would get swerved, he is right. It's more likely now since Vince McMahon is out of the picture. Yes, that
more likely, but not going to happen.
Yeah, it's still 0% because WWE don't like working with people unless they're don't consider them as a competitor. Because, like I said, look at TNA. For the longest time, they hated TNA for decades.
Well, don't forget, TNA also tried to restart the Monday Night War, and that only lasted a month.
No, I think it lasted for 10 weeks or something like that. But, still, yeah, they were getting their ass kicked by Raw, but honestly,
I wouldn't be surprised with all of the cross promotion with TNA that WWE's been doing with having Mickey James, which I'm very surprised that happened under the Vince era, that he even did that. And probably if it wasn't Mickey James, it wouldn't have happened. And then Triple H had Jordan Grace in last year's Royal Rumble. Now you got a couple
this year's.
Yeah, that's what I meant. This year's Royal Rumble, and then now you got her and another TNA guy in NXT working with NXT right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Triple H and TKO aren't trying to hammer out a deal to buy TNA.
I don't know about that. I mean, I guess. I mean, there's possibility. I mean, Anthem. I mean, the only reason they're on stable footings because of Anthem.
Well, Anthem has their own TV channel too. It's at Access TV. Otherwise, TNA would be back on Twitch.
Yeah, so at least they have a channel that they're on, even though it's not a very well-known channel.
It's not on most cable providers either. I don't even think I have it, to be honest with you.
Honestly, to me, I've already watched WWE and AEW. I don't have the time to sit down and watch TNA. I'm sorry. I mean, at least give me something, a reason why to watch it. Right now, they don't really give me a reason to watch TNA. When they left, when Spike kicked them off,
that was their downfall. Then they went to Destination America, WGN, which is WGN is based out of Chicago, which again a lot of some cable and TV providers don't have. Then they went to Pop TV, which is very obscure.
Yeah.
Then after that, they went to fucking Twitch. Now they're on Access TV because Anthem owns it.
So I'm thinking, is it possible? Yeah, maybe Anthem. How long can they stand to lose money on TNA before they're like, all right, let's go ahead and sell the scraps to get something, you know? Like, it's shocking how long TNA's been alive.
Yeah.
Like, 22 years. Like, it's.
And remember, they started out as weekly pay-per-views, charging, I don't even remember how much money a month. I'm surprised
It was $10.
Even so, basically paying $40 a month to watch TNA out of the gate for the first few years. I'm surprised they even survived that long. The way they started.
I mean, really, they had survived because of Dixie for the longest time. Well, the Panda Energy and the Carters. I'm like, Dixie was a fucking black eye for TNA, quite frankly.
All right, Casey, Kratos, I'm gonna have you guys take over the show for a few minutes. I gotta go downstairs and grab something. So I'll be right back.
But I mean, I would love to see WWE and AEW work together, but I don't see it happening at all. Like, they're both companies are petty to do that. Like, yeah, AEW does work with New Japan with the Forbidden Door, but and they were also on a working relationship for a little bit with TNA as well. Like, that's when Kenny Omega was doing the whole belt collector gimmick. And then pretty much when he lost the TNA belt, pretty much the TNA relationship ended.
Oh yeah, definitely.
TSS says, Casey, TNA will always be around. TNA will always find a way to stick around like they always do. Well, the thing was, it was two people was the reason why. Jeff Jarrett and Dixie Carter. Those are the two reasons why those TNA survived that long. I think Dixie Carter only still has 5% of the company.
Wow, only 5?
Yeah, she sold most of her ownership to Anthem. So, because she did a lot of damage for TNA the later years. But I see Anthem possibly sell the scraps, because how long could they? Like, they're definitely not profitable, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So how long do you take the hit? Like, look, even TNT and TBS, they eventually got rid of WCW, and like, it was just a matter of time when they were losing millions. I think they lost $80 million in year 2000. So, like, it's possible. You would think it'd be more unlikely for WCW to go out of business than TNA.
Yeah.
But, like, look, Ring of Honor, if AEW, if Tony Khan didn't pick up Ring of Honor, they would have been dead. Because Ring of Honor was dead before Tony Khan got the scraps. And luckily he did, because Ring of Honor wouldn't be around today, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
But, I mean, do I want TNA to go away? No, because the more wrestling companies, the better.
Indeed.
If it was just WWE or AEW, that wouldn't be good. Like, you still need, like, a few brands out there I mean, NWA's nothing. Like, TNA barely has a presence anymore.
Yep.
Like, yeah, people like to point out where AEW doesn't make it over 1 million viewers, but it's a different time frame. Like, I mean, TNA was on. Like, people was watching like these streaming services during that time. Like, it's a different playing field nowadays.
Oh yeah.
Like, how I'm wondering how WWE's gonna with Raw going to Netflix. Like, how are we gonna how are they gonna rate the viewership for Raw? Like, how are we gonna find out that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll probably have that wrapped up so they don't have to say anything, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine, let's say Netflix after I think that it's a 10-year deal, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So imagine, and they can get out of like, I think in the first 5. So let's say they're like, they couldn't afford it no more. So they'll be like, hey, we'll just say it wasn't worth it. Worth it. So, you know, the only reason WWE even has the network is when WWE was getting their renewal for USA. This is right after they went back to USA and their
Yep.
first 5-year deal was done. They tried to get their next one and they barely got a bump. So then WWE's like, hey, we could use our own network. And so we say, if we don't like the price, we're going to put it on our own channel.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, but it's worth saying that AEW and WWE working together is unlikely. Very, you know, it's. I think I don't know why he would say that. I mean, maybe he still has wants to be on good terms with WWE.
Not
Like,
possible.
like how old is Swerve? Do you think he is? Like,
Early to mid 30s, maybe.
so, like, he could be on the later stages of his career. So,
Possibly, yeah.
I don't know, but there's not a chance in hell. I think you would have to most likely get hit by lightning and win the lottery on the same day than that happened.
Yep.
Like, I mean, WWE didn't want to do anything with WCW at all. The only reason they cared to do anything with ECW, they didn't look at ECW as competition.
Mm-hmm.
And they were using ECW to kind of get some of their talent from anyways. And then eventually, when ECW went down, they eventually, yeah, they had their own farm leagues, but they also started taking talent from Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't see AEW working with WWE. Especially WWE's not gonna be like, hey, we'll work with you guys now. But I think Tony Khan has a sour taste in his mouth from all the mud that they slung at them.
Yep.
But, and I think a lot of that also comes from how close Vince and Triple H were working together, so I'm sure Triple H kind of adopted some of those things.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, Triple H is like, yeah, he's the chief creative officer, but that doesn't mean he runs the company. I'm like, you got other people like Nick Khan who runs the company, and then people above him, you know?
Yep.
So if they want to do it, it depends what TKO feels. If they can make money off of it, then it's possible. But
what money is there to be made these days now?
I mean, let's say if it's possible. I mean, there's some people that you could bring to either or company. Like, I'm sure you could bring like MJF over to WWE, and it would be a big splash. And same thing with Darby Allin, and then have people like, let's say, Sami Zayn and going over the Dynamite. I think it'd be great, but I mean, look what's going on with, like we were talking about with NXT, like with the two people showed up last week with Jordan Gray showing up, and then Ethan Page came out, like that man.
I heard that Roxanne Perez's reaction to Jordan Grace coming out was a genuine reaction. She did not know she was going to come out.
I heard they kept it under wraps, but I think it's good that they did that, because like we said before, like, I mean, you always had the same people on that roster. Like, you can only like have so many people in the rotation. Like, WWE used to be real bad, like with the women in the tag team. Like like back in the during the '90s, all the tag teams eventually had the tag team belts. It was just eventually their time to get the belt, and the women was the exact same way. Like, oh, it's just a matter of time when this woman's gonna win it. So, honestly, if you stay long enough in the company, you're eventually gonna be women's champion. You know?
Yeah.
The only person I would say never happened was Tamina. But you don't ever see Tamina no more. Like, something happened to her, and like every time she comes back, and then shortly she just disappears again. Like, I'm not complaining, because
blame her murderer of a father.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why they stopped using her last name as the Snuka. Because I'm sure they're like, they kind of want to distance away from that a little bit.
They're going to take a long time to distance away from that, because according to that Dark Side of the Ring episode, Vince was willing to pay them $25,000 to make it all go away. Her family.
Yeah, but
it's like, I'm really sorry about your daughter, but how's $25,000 to make it all go away?
I don't blame him trying to make it go away. Like, I mean, I would have got rid of the person instead, because, like, God, like, why would you want someone that, potentially killed someone?
He still got up. He even got his ass out of prison. I don't find it to be a problem to Vince. But
Not
Vince
only
has
that,
always been a problem.
not only that, the guy became a Hall of Famer, and this is like
He should
right.
have his Hall of Fame ring taken away.
No,
No, I'm saying he should have his Hall of Fame
yeah.
ring taken away.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, he's dead. I'm sure his widow has it. So you're gonna go over there and say, "Hey, we're gonna take him out of the Hall of Fame. So we want our ring back." Actually, during that time frame, it wasn't a ring. I believe it was a plaque.
Plaque. Yeah.
So we want our plaque back.
He should have been scrubbed from the Hall of Fame from the jump.
I mean, if you follow what they
As
say,
soon as it came out that like in that book that her autopsy report said this should be investigated as a murder, should be looked into as a murder investigation. That's a problem, and that's a 30-year-old autopsy, and the autopsy doctor said this should be looked into as a murder investigation.
well, obviously something. I wouldn't doubt maybe there was some foul play to get rid of all that. Like
I don't doubt it either. Vince was involved, obviously.
well, the cops on that dark side of the ring, he said that he didn't see that until that day.
Bullshit.
I mean, oh, here's the kicker too. You had the Tonga kid in, like,
The person who was like kissing Jimmy Snuka's ass because he got him a job.
yeah, he was supposedly in the car on that trip.
Even Snuka contradicted that whole fucking bullshit by opening his fucking mouth.
That he wasn't there. That Tonga kid wasn't there.
Exactly. He even contradicted his own statement.
Well, Tonga kid, he's like, "Oh, we heard that one woman got hurt and died," but like, I don't know. It was a lot of times I don't hold Dark Side of the Ring with much merit. I mean, there were some episodes like the plane ride from hell. They're like, "Oh, Vince and Linda was on the airplane," but
Bullshit.
well, I'm like, hold on, but they would send JR to go back there and like they would not act like that if Vince was there.
Exactly.
Plus, like, yeah, I heard Vince gets rowdy, but I'm sure he wouldn't let it get too bad, where to the point where getting lawsuits. But
remember, they made a WWE Storytime episode about the plane ride from hell.
Oh God, my head feels like it's being squeezed in a vice.
Did you go throw up?
Well, that wasn't the reason I got up, but that was the end result. Yes.
It was like I was wondering where the fuck you been.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got one topic left. I don't mean to barge in on what you guys are talking about. So if you want to finish your little,
We were just talking about like wrestling in general, TNA, Ring of Honor, how either one could have died a long time ago, but they refused to in some way, shape, or form.
Speaking of wrestling, we got one last topic. Jim Cornette destroying Nia Jax. Again,
I'm surprised they didn't destroy her for that lousy Queen of the Ring final. That shit was awful.
Well, he
even Meltzer gave it 1.5 stars.
When he reviewed that, he said it was a shit match, but he pretty much got his rant off on her during the match on the SmackDown before that, which was also in Saudi Arabia, so he didn't need to rant on her twice. But anyways, this is from the Jim Cornette Experience podcast. You can find it uncensored on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and whatnot. Specifically, I listen to it on Spotify. It is on YouTube as well, but it's censored on YouTube.
Go figure.
So what I'm going to be playing for you guys. So pull up the podcast, pull up the Less Than Serious show, so you guys can hear this as well. We're going to listen to it, and we're going to react to it. It's about a 10-minute long rant, maybe a little bit longer.
Damn.
He goes off on this bitch.
Well, I'd be careful because I would stop her every once in a while.
What's that?
I would stop her every once in a while so you don't get copyright.
Well, technically, I'm under fair use because I'm providing my own kind of commentary to what he's saying.
Yep.
All right, so pull up the podcast. You guys got it up so you guys can hear this as well, because I'm going to play it in about 10 seconds.
All right.
Again, this is the Jim Cornette Experience, episode 534. Jim reviews Double or Nothing and King of the Ring. I will be playing a segment where he tears into Nia Jax and the comments he has about her and the things he says about her, and we'll discuss it and go over it. So here we go.
The first match, though, the Queen of the Ring semifinal. This was in Saudi Arabia. So we had Bianca in a bodysuit taking on the refrigerator in a deflated parade balloon. They're covered from neck to ankle, and well, the feet are covered. Are they allowed to go barefoot?
In a deflated parade
Is a woman legally allowed to be barefoot in public in Saudi Arabia? That was not rhetorical.
Yeah, I don't.
Hold up.
Casey, turn your shit off.
You got headphones, Casey?
My bad. I thought I was muted. My bad.
Holy cow. All right. Well, we'll just continue from there. So, his first comments was calling Nia Jax a refrigerator, coming out wearing what looks like a deflated parade suit. And we're going to get right back into this. So, here we go.
Oh, I don't know. I know a lot of fans were in an uproar because I think there was a photo on social media of maybe it was Bianca and Jade.
All right, I'm going to skip this. What fuck?
At a beach in Saudi Arabia. Exactly what
the ancient fucking teachings from when people thought Ovi and Fazzle Mugwump.
I think Fubar and
That's enough to identify. Can we get updates on Fubar and Slapcup?
To come up with a natty.
Well, it reminded me with the Anyway,
Bianca versus Nia Jax.
Yes.
Here we go.
And here's the first thing I'm going to make an editorial comment about today is with Nia Jax, I'm about to say, fuck this fat, ugly bitch.
Whoa.
But no, fuck her.
Damn.
Because no, Bianca's got the bad leg that the refrigerator was working in the match and blah, blah, blah. And they build it where Bianca gets her up on her shoulders for a finish, but her leg collapses, quote unquote. She kind of just dropped her backwards and fell forwards. But I wouldn't want that load of shit on top of me either. But then this giant overstuffed recliner couch with legs jumps up and drops all of her weight back first on Bianca. Just not the senton or swanton, but just when they just jump up and land on a motherfucker. Dropped all her weight back first on her boob, and she was selling facially very believably. And then she drags her over and gives her a bonsai drop that looked worse.
Thoughts on this so far?
Holy shit.
And that's only getting into it. He has now called Nia Jax a moving recliner chair with legs, or somewhere along those lines. He is certainly not impressed with the way she is delivering her moves in the ring. Yeah, it's going to get a little more worse than that. I don't exactly agree with the fat shaming and the body shaming, especially since Jim Cornette is not a athletic type either. But I can laugh at it because I'm fat, so I feel no regret at laughing at this at all. But I do think that Jim went a little too far. But apparently he hasn't gone far enough. Here we go.
It was. Did you see this at all?
I did, and maybe the bonsai drop the next night took away a little bit of the steam from the night before, but
Well, yeah, that's where I'm going to be editorializing, commentating on that one too. But no, fuck this fucking fat bitch. I guarantee you that she would do me that way, or anybody that was going to stand up for themselves one time, and elsewise there'd be some goddamn issue. If they didn't want to handle it at the office, somebody'd handle it in the fucking locker room. That's ridiculous. And it's not necessary, and it wasn't needed. If she can't work the shit, anybody can come in and say, here, let me just fucking hit you as hard as I can, or throw you down in various ways as hard as I can, or land on you. Fuck. Fat fucking douchebag. Anyway.
I have not heard you rant about a wrestler like you have her.
No, this is way too much. And again, these aren't fucking, you're not talking about Road Warrior Hawk or Dr. Death Steve Williams. These are 120, 130 pound fucking women. That's an internal injury. Ribs, you've got, that will fuck your back up too, even if you're laying on your back, because of the unnaturalness of it, that suddenly 300 and whatever pounds this fucking buffalo weighs is coming crashing into your midsection or on your chest or whatever the fuck. No. And I don't know why somebody wouldn't be talking to
Because she's The Rock's cousin, for the same reason she has a job and that she won Queen of the Ring.
Hey, I had one of The Rock's cousins in OVW. I can't remember what his fucking name was now, but I told him he was the shits, because he was the shits. That was 25 fucking years ago.
You also had Rocky Johnson in OVW. That didn't work out so well either.
And when we told the office that he was the shits, actually, to be quite honest with you, too, because he was. Well, you've got to call the shits. And I don't care who somebody. If anybody had done this level of unprotected fat ass dropping on somebody, especially a woman, in any promotion I've ever been involved in, they would be spoken to about it. And if they didn't do it anymore, we're all good. And if they did do it again, their fat ass would be in the car out the door. Jesus. Anyway. So they had a 6-man tag team.
All right, so it wasn't quite 10 minutes, but it was about 8 minutes of a rant on how unsafe Nia Jax is in the ring, and how surprisingly she hasn't hurt anybody recently, and how she didn't injure Bianca in the match that they had the night before the her Queen of the Ring match. But yeah, so what did you guys think about that, with all the disparaging remarks and calling her fucking buffalo and refrigerator and a walking sofa with legs and fat ugly bitch, and he fucking ripped into her. He fucking destroyed Nia Jax, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, sadly,
shit.
I have never heard Jim Cornette rip into anybody on his podcast like he ripped into Nia, and that's even with the fucking garbage outlaw fucking indie guys that Jim fucking can't stand.
well, I mean, a lot of us don't like Nia Jax. I mean, we hate her because how dangerous the bitch is. So, like, he's just late for the party. But, honestly, I think she lost weight, but
She did lose some weight, it's noticeable, but she's still unsafe in the ring, and she's still much heavier than the other girls in the company.
Yeah, the only one that comes close is Piper Niven.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, she's still dangerous. But I thought that was funny as fuck. I mean, yes, it wasn't mean. Yes, it was, but Jim Cornette is hilarious with his insults. It's kind of hard to be upset.
I'm not upset. I just think like he could have done a little less of it. But
Hey.
I was surprised. I don't know if anybody on Twitter has fucking had a go at him at all for those comments. I haven't looked, but I'm not like white knighting or being an SJW over it, for Nia Jax. But I think he could have toned that down a little bit. Yeah, he could rant all he wants, about how unsafe she is in the ring, and he did. And basically saying that, if you're the shits, you're the shits, and you need to be told you suck. Because apparently the WWE is protecting Nia because she's The Rock's cousin, which is true. Although they did fire her once, but she came back. They did bring her back to the company.
They should have kept her fired.
But she is still unsafe in the ring. Surprisingly, she hasn't injured anybody since she's come back yet. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on Jim Cornette's rant on Nia? Like, obviously, what he basically said is true. If she can't safely perform these moves, she shouldn't be doing them. And what do you guys think of all those fucking insults he threw at her?
It was funny as fuck. Doesn't make me mean about that. Yeah, I guess.
Well, we're big people. We can laugh at it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What about you, Kratos? What did you think of that segment there?
Funny as shit.
But you agree with what he was saying though, right? About how she's
Definitely.
unsafe in the ring and she probably shouldn't have a job doing this, and she can't do the moves. Don't fucking do them.
Mm-hmm.
We are a little over an hour and a half in. We covered all our topics tonight. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about before I end up in the bathroom again?
No. Well,
No.
Did we mention on air about the whole Mike Tyson fight?
No, we didn't. So if you want to bring that up, we can.
Well, all I know, it's been Tyson versus Logan Paul.
Jake Paul.
No, Jake Paul has been postponed because Tyson had a medical emergency. He has an ulcer that's preventing him to continue to train. So, like...
How convenient this happens now so that Jake Paul and his fucking goofy-ass fans can just think Tyson's scared, right?
God, I tell you one thing. I saw Jake Paul. He looks like with those tattoos on his head. He looks like a steroided punk.
I'm telling you right now, if Jake Paul beats Mike Tyson now, there's going to be excuses like, oh, well, Mike Tyson's not healthy and he just had a medical issue and he's not 100%. Or people will continue saying that all those fights are worked, which I think they are.
Well, what I was hearing is that not only the matches they go from 3-minute rounds to 2-minute rounds, and then I heard it in the contract that Tyson is forbidden to knock him out. Like, what kind of bullshit boxing is this when you can't knock out your opponent,
Maybe they don't want him to kill him?
Well, I mean, if
that's
Jake
the
Paul,
case, that's their own fucking problem.
Yeah, I was going to say, if Jake Paul can't take getting knocked the fuck out, then maybe he shouldn't be pretending to be a boxer.
I'm like, hold on. Are any of these matches even sanctioned, or are these all... I guess they're all exhibition, I guess.
I would
right?
think so, but this one is going to be on the books. Tyson and Jake Paul is supposed to be on the books.
Okay.
What about the one... Which one fought Floyd Mayweather? Was it...
Logan. And that one wasn't even on the books. Because it said even in the rules there would be no actual winner decided. I'm like, then why have the fucking fight?
Right?
Yeah, it's stupid. like I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, it was Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. I mean, I watched that. I was actually on a date when watching that, and originally I was going to go find a bar that was doing it because I certainly wasn't paying $100 for that. And this chick is like, "Hey, no, come over here and we'll watch it." I was like, don't order just because of me. You know, like, save $100. I was being nice, and what's crazy, I'd never seen that woman again after that night. I was like, and I was being nice, saying, "Hey, don't order it because of me." You know, like I didn't choose to stop seeing her; she just stopped responding. But I watched that match, and like I would see Conor McGregor do stuff that you're not allowed to do, like where he was hitting Floyd in the back of the head. Like you can't do that in boxing. Like, but and then I think that was official match too, wasn't it?
Let's see. Let's look up right now if Jake Paul has had any official boxing matches.
Like, if the guy can't be allowed to be knocked out, then that's bullshit. Then let me fight him, like, or like let his fans fight him and sign a contract forbidding them to knock him out. Like, pay so much money and then you can fight him. You know, like it's just stupid. I'm not gonna pay them. Well, sadly, I might be one of those try to find a place to watch it. It's not Tyson. It's because of Jake Paul.
It's gonna be on It's gonna be on Netflix.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
I believe so. Yeah.
But I think it's crazy that what I heard, but and then what I was also hearing in the contract that Jake Paul will be wearing the headgear while Tyson won't. I'm like, what the fuck? But that's allegedly. I mean, I don't take my word for it, but I think he has some of those matches being 2-minute rounds.
Dude, he faced big names, dude, like fucking Nate Diaz, Nate Robinson, Anderson Silva. Like, dude, get the fuck out of here with this shit.
Who are you talking about? Jake Paul?
Yeah.
And how many of those guys are washed up and retired from their originals fighting sports?
Jake Paul's boxing record. All in all, Jake Paul's boxing record is 9-1, excluding his amateur bout against Deji in 2018, which he also won. Jake has secured 6 victories by knockout, as well as winning 1 by split decision by unanimous decision. So apparently he's 9-1, so I guess all his fights are official except for his very first one. His last match was against Ryan Berlin, which was earlier this year.
Who?
Some guy named Ryan Berlin.
Never heard of him.
Last year he faced Andre August. He faced Nate Diaz last year. He faced Tommy Fury last year, just Tyson Fury's brother. Anderson Silva in 2022. Tyson Woodley 2 times in 2021.
Tyrone Woodley,
yeah, that's what I meant. Ben Askren in 2021. Nate Robinson in 2020. Anderson Gibb in 2020. And in 2018 was against Deji in 2018, which is his first fight. So apparently he only lost 1 of these fights. And apparently he only lost 1 of these fights out of 11. and the first one didn't count, and the other 10 apparently did.
I need to go back and listen to Jim Cornette having that rant on Nia Jax. I gotta like that.
Yeah.
I mean, she is dangerous, man. Like, and granted, like, it's on SmackDown though too. But she's usually wearing a full bodysuit. But I thought for a second that he was talking about when being in Saudi Arabia. Like, all the women has to wear a bodysuit because they're not allowed to show anything except their head and their hands.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
you know what I would find really funny about these Jim Cornette rants and how he always calls her a refrigerator? As if for Halloween, she comes out wrestling in a refrigerator costume.
Yeah. But yeah, I find that was funny. Oh, then there's another one. I'm looking at it right now. Jim Cornette reviews Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax on SmackDown. And that was 8 days ago.
Yeah, so that was that was the Queen of the Ring match, wasn't it? No, she faced Lyra Valkyria.
Semifinal.
So
the YouTube version, though, remember the YouTube version will be censored. So.
Yep.
But anyways, guys, I think that'll wrap up the show for tonight before I end up in the bathroom. So by the time you guys plug your shit and I plug my shit, it'll be about 2 hours and we can get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I have a raging headache now. I feel like my head's being squeezed in a vice. I haven't eaten dinner yet, and I don't know what I can eat now that I'm probably not going to be able to hold down. Anyways, Kratos, I'll let you go first. What do you got going on? I know you're going to do something on Sunday, right?
Yeah, not anymore. I gotta prepare for this wedding.
Oh, really?
Are you getting married?
No, my younger brother is.
Oh, well, congratulations to him, anyways.
Yep.
So you got nothing going on then, I take it?
I was gonna be streaming on Friday, but I may be working now. So that bites.
All right, Casey, what do you got going on over there on your channel?
Well, last night I put out Alf, the video game for the Sega Master System. I have several Master System games that I put up on there. I had Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, Paperboy, and I showed a bunch of my intros, new intros. I got Vince Russo, RGT85, 8-Bit Eric, Simon Miller from What Culture, and Luigi Primo do new intros for me.
How did you do that? You used Cameo for that shit?
Yeah.
Really? So you had all these people make intros for your channel?
Yeah. Why not?
All right. Well, okay.
And I also I like to promote this week. We got WWF Warzone on the Game Boy that did gameplay. And I highly suggest people to check out my Cyber FX 3D headset review. It's a retro headset back in the day, back when it was just the Sony PlayStation. They didn't even say one, and it's for the Nintendo. But instead of saying VR, there's a reason why they say 3D, even though it's not really 3D. So, give it a shot. There's only 2 reviews of this headset. It's me and Ashton.
Who?
I was gonna say who?
Ashen. It's ASHENS.
Oh, Ashens. Yeah, I love him.
Yeah.
Dude's great.
Yeah, he's the only other person who did a review of this.
Okay.
Because I came across this headset in the box, and I've been eyeing this for weeks at the game store. And I eventually asked him, "It's like, is the product in there?" And then I've finally pulled the trigger on it, and only paid $5 for it, for the item and the box. So
Interesting.
well, go watch it. It's hilarious.
Well, on my end, yesterday we did Forza Horizon 5, of course. I did some Paper Mario after that. No stream tomorrow. Thursday, I'll do some more Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door. Friday I'll be covering Summer Games Fest. I don't think I'm going to be available this weekend, Casey. So that's hopefully you'll have Dave Rose and other people on standby because I don't think I'll be available Saturday.
Okay.
Sunday I'll be covering the Xbox showcase. So that's what I got coming up for the rest of the week.
I want to be more interested with that now since I got a Series X now.
Well, you can cover it with me if you're available.
Yeah.
I don't know what time it starts yet. I have to look into it.
Perfect, Casey. That works perfectly. Finally joining the winning team.
The winning team.
The winning team with the least amount of console sales.
Exactly.
Well, guys, we're going to get on out of here. Have a good night. Shout out to EJ, TSS, and Steve Callan for being in the chat. Until next time, have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Check out Derailed Gaming Live, OCRP, GTA 5 roleplay videos over there on the channel. Follow me right here on Twitch and YouTube. Subscribe to both channels, especially before your subscription on Twitch goes up to $6 a month. I greatly appreciate it. And if you have Twitch Prime, it don't cost you a dime, and I'll get paid for it at the same time. Also, all the links are there down below. My Twitter is there too, so you know when I go live and upload a video. Porn free, by the way. With that being said, guys, I'm gonna get on out of here. For Casey's Raw, MK Kratos, my name is The Rose. Have a good night, everybody. Until next time.
Yep.
We'll catch your ass down the road.